Welcome to episode 88 of Soccer Over Gotham, your favorite Gotham podcast. We have a great show for all of you. Gary, what do we have in this episode?
Is this thing on? For the second time in 3 seasons, New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC is in the playoffs. We did it. So we're going to break down this emotional roller coaster of a decision day, and we're going to see what we can learn from it. Ali Krieger plays her final regular season home match and plays out of her mind. We also have an NWSL streaming rights rumor update, and we have an amazing second half of the show. We have our regular season award show. Jenna, Ruby, and I just have a little bit too much fun. We go on for a long time, but it's worth every second of it. It's just us blowing off steam. It's been a long season. But Ruby, speaking of this long season, we survived another chaotic regular season. How you doing?
We did it. We really survived. And I am so glad just to be here to go through the highs and the lows and everything in between. It has been just amazing. And like you said, we made it. We made it into the playoffs. That's such an incredible thing to say out loud because at the beginning of the season, we were just kind of hoping to do better than last season. So now we're in the playoffs. So amazing. So again, we're back. We didn't have an episode last week again. We had some sickness here, and I was out of the country. I was in Guatemala. I was visiting my family over there, my especially my grandma that I haven't seen in a while. So that was really good. And I just have to say that I'm back with so energized from like seeing my grandma. I felt like I really needed that and my heart feels so full right now. So that was incredible. And I'm so glad you're feeling better, Gary. How are you?
I'm good. My personality is back. Like back to back. You had COVID and then I got COVID.
Yeah.
And this is true. We actually did record last episode last
Yeah.
week,
We
but
did.
COVID hit me like pretty hard for like one day and it just took me a lot of like chest congestion. So we did record and it took not only like I was like just trying to get my words out, but it took my personality away. And I'm like editing this thing and I'm like, I'm so boring listening to myself. I'm like, I can't put this out there. So I apologize everybody, but I'm back. My personality's back. So we're back on
Woo.
it. And I just got to give a shout out to Gotham FC. I renewed my season tickets early, and our season ticket holder rep contacted us and said, "Hey, do you want to get field seats for the day?" And I was like, I'm a college kid with a mortgage. So I'm like, oh man, I feel like a baller for a day. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Let's get field seats. So I sat there. I got my field seats, and they were really
Whoa.
fun. It's cool being close to the action. And Midge Purse scored that goal, and she like ran right up to us. And
Yeah.
was like so cool to be that close.
Yeah.
I prefer being higher up because I can see more of the field, but it is really cool to be like right up and close with the team. I know
Yeah.
you had field seats for a while, right?
I had field tickets for I think it was 2020, right before the pandemic. So just keep in mind that field tickets back then were not as expensive as they are today. So I
Yeah.
had a really great deal because they were still sky blue back then. So yeah, I had field tickets, but because of COVID, that did not happen. So they had to like get my season tickets for the following season. But again, because of COVID, I didn't get the field seats. So I just got like front row in one of the sections. I forgot what section now. Oh, it was like I think it was 124 or 126 where
Yeah,
the sun hits you hard.
the sun side, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And then the following year, I moved to the other side because of the sun. But
Yeah.
yeah, I had field tickets, but I didn't use them because of COVID. But I'm glad you got to experience it for me.
Absolutely. Speaking of this game, obviously, shout out to Cloud Dawn. That
Hmm.
tifo up for Ali Krieger's last game was perfection. That was a work of
Yes,
art. It was just amazing to see in person. And again, shout out to them for doing that.
exactly. Like that thing is humongous. Like just think about all the work that they have to do. They do that on their spare time. So they all work jobs and then they all come together to make this beautiful thing. It was just incredible. I was not able to see it in person, but just even in pictures, it looked really, really, really good.
Yeah. Speaking of hard work on graphics, you did an amazing job. Just telling you on those two or three, whatever you had a bunch of them for Ali Krieger's last game. Yeah, they were awesome. So
Yeah, I did 3 and I did them when I was in Guatemala. So, yeah, I got inspired over there and I made 3 graphics for Ali Krieger. They were amazing. And yeah, you're gonna keep seeing those graphics throughout this season and next season. Yeah.
yeah. You got these amazing graphics, and here I am putting out like little miss memes and stuff.
N No, we all do, like, our part for the podcast, and we have to recognize that, like, you
Yeah.
do your thing, I do my thing, and together we make something great.
Yeah. All right, let's jump real quickly into some league team news. Let's just hit it out of the park, and let's get onto the game. But there is a rumor; it's not official yet, but Sportico has said that the NWSL has reached an agreement for their next round of media rights, and it seems they are divvying it up between ESPN, CBS, Amazon, and what's called Scripps. It's a local college kind of broadcast thing. I'm not sure exactly what it means, but the deal will run for 4 years, which would hit at the time of the World Cup, where they can hopefully get another boost and get another media deal, which is really, really cool. Then there's no announcement on how much it's worth. The last media deal was about 1.5 million, and the NWSL had to foot their own broadcast, which is like it's a couple $100,000 there, so that takes away a lot of their money coming from that deal. So hopefully this one is like 10 times that, and we'll see what happens. But what were your thoughts?
Yeah, and honestly, I just hope it benefits the fans, the league, and the players. I'm all for it. At the end of the day, I just hope it's not confusing because we have like one, two, three, four networks here: ESPN, CBS, Amazon, and Scripps. I hope it's just not complicated as it sounds. And I think it's a good thing that, it will be like it will hit the market again directly after 2027, like you said, by the World Cup, because, that's when they get like more eyes on the league and the players and everything here. And you know what? I'm going to make it a goal to go to the next World Cup.
There you go. And I've obviously been doing this for a while, and I've been a fan of this league for a little while. So I've been through it. I've been through it with like the Go 90, the Yahoo Sports, and
Yeah.
it's been a mess. So anything is better than that. And I echo your sentiment on it being confusing. Like if you're a new fan, it's like, oh, I just got into Gotham FC. Like, where can I see the games?
Mhm.
Well, do you have Amazon Prime?
Mhm.
Get that. Okay. To get ESPN Plus. Also, you got to get Paramount Plus, and if the game is on CBS Sports Network, you got to get Fubo. And
Oh my
then
God.
I don't know what Scripps is, so it's like you got to get like 6 different streaming services just to watch the games.
In,
So,
yeah.
yeah, shout out to the MLS because their Apple deal was fantastic, right? Like at first, you were like, okay, it's not on network TV, but it's all in one place, and like I know that the Red Bulls play at 7:30 on Saturday nights every Saturday night in the same place, and it's just makes it so much easier to follow your team. It's in one place, so I'm hoping it's not as complicated as it sounds, like you said.
Yeah, we're really hoping for that. If not, I think we're just gonna have to make like one main account and we all chip in and we
Yeah.
all log in into one account and watch the game. I don't know. Just being
Yes.
creative
Yeah.
here.
Yes. We're all one big family. We get a family plan. That's what we'll do. All right. Let's get to this game. This is one of my most like fun, like frustrating games I've ever been to. So, at least this is close. This is close to like last of the season. And this is I'm calling this the most important game in Gotham FC's history, given the amount of resources put into this roster to win now and just how good this team can be. I think that the expectations are so high that I think like Gotham just making the playoffs 2 years ago was like an aberration. Like, okay, like that's amazing. We made the playoffs, but I think this
Mhm.
year, I think the stakes are a little bit higher given the investment. So, and this game was a playoff game. It felt like a playoff game, and there's no other way to describe it. Gotham wins and they host the playoff game, which is what I've been asking for forever. And if they draw, they need help to get over that line. If they lose, then they need a lot of help. And KC's coming into this game like Gotham was at the last game of last season with nothing to play for. But again, that's what they said about us last season. They were going to come to play. Everybody's playing for their jobs, and nobody wants to go out as the worst team in the league. So they were going for it. The injury list was shorter. It's getting shorter and shorter, and we're getting happier and happier about it. We just have Kelly O'Hara, Christy Mewis, Taylor Smith, and Abby Smith still on the injury list. And the lineup for this game was Mandy Haught in goal. We had our top choice back line of Jenna Neiswanger. We had Krieger. We had Lopez, and we had Edmonds on the right. And then we had Sheehan, Martin, and Ryan across the midfield. And up front, we had that monster of a front line, which is Lynn Williams, Midge Purse, and Esther Gonzalez. Your thoughts on that, Ruby?
My thoughts on this. I think the attack was super dangerous with Williams, Gonzalez, and Purse. All three players are great goal scorers and have lots of speed, which is good going against Casey. And we see Gonzalez starting again, which I hope this means that her ankle is better now.
Yeah. I was surprised to see Bernini not starting and Edmonds again in the starter, but we know Edmonds is a gamer, and you have to be really cautious about Dabinia and Cooper. I'm not certain, but I think that Gotham was just wanted to put a more experienced defender in that spot, and that's reasonable to me. It's crazy again to think about how deep this roster is, and again, it speaks volumes of those three midfielders that have earned spots over this year and this season. I'm so proud of those three. We'll get to that in the second segment with our end of the year season rewards. Now, Ruby, this game, it couldn't have started any better for Gotham. They were energized, they were free flowing, they were pressing. Esther was dropping in, and Midge was taking a more central position. The first goal is exactly how Gotham draws these things up: high pressure, high turnover. Sheehan jumps on it, plays Midge through, and it was just a clean finish. I mean, just what a start. What the energy in that building was just incredible. And then a couple minutes later, Ryan showcases every single thing that we all knew she was capable of. An amazing goal. She just sliced right through that defense and again, a sequence that I think Midge would be proud of. Just that shot that kisses the inside of the far post was just the cherry on top. Certainly one of the better goals of the season. Again, this crowd is roaring and just everything is coming up Gotham. I'm curious what you thought about that start, Ruby.
First of all, I have to let you guys know how I watched this game
Mhm.
because the day that Gotham play, I was at the airport coming back from Guatemala and I couldn't get on Twitter. I couldn't get on any social media because I didn't want to spoil it. I wanted to watch it like if it was live, even though it wasn't. So I was like at the airport watching the game, like watching the replay. I think I had to wait like 4 hours for the replay to be on Paramount. So I'm watching the game here at the airport. And I just have to say, they had a phenomenal start. Gotham came out of the gates with so much energy and precision. It was amazing. It was thrilling. It was a thrilling performance. And it, like you said, I could even hear it through my phone. The crowd was going. It had the crowd going. It was amazing. The high pressure strategy really paid off in this game, leading to a brilliant executed first goal. Sheehan is not a goal scorer, but she is really, really good with those through balls. it did happen in another game with Williams where she like sent the ball to Williams. Williams was able to control it, made an amazing save in this other game. Kind of similar here with Midge Purse. And that's something that I need to like mention with Sheehan. Like again, she's just doing like the dirty work and not getting like the accolades that she should have. I love her. And then that second goal, amazing. That second goal by Ryan, it was just a master class in offensive play. Like you said, we know what she's capable of, and she went into this game and just showed us that.
Yeah. Real quickly. So remember we did the interview like early in the season with Ryan, and she was
Mhm.
talking about like how she was like learning to play chess.
Yeah.
And it was like such a little thing, and obviously it's like that question that we love, like what are you nerdy about outside of soccer? But she did the chess pieces again
A
after her goal.
celebration. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good to see that those lessons are paying off. But let's get to the second half of the first half, and I mean, what can you even say? I think everybody switches off except for Krieger.
Yeah.
It was I mean, like, obviously a great goal from Spanstra. It was pretty much the only place Mandy couldn't get to, and then it's like all KC. Mandy flubs a pass to Krieger, gets jumped by Hamilton, and to Mandy's credit, she does a terrific job of just getting to her, closing down, and just delaying Hamilton just enough. And then that image of Krieger flying across the goal line just to the right spot, the right time, and get clearing that ball. And you could just see there's a second of contemplation that Allie has after doing that, and you just know that she's like thinking, "Is this the kind of night I'm going to have?" Because she came, it was amazing, and that's going to stick with me. That's that image of her giving everything to this team. Then you get this own goal off Neiswanger. Just feels so bad for the rookie. Just the worst. Like not only it's an important game, but you don't want like an own goal to be a reason that like Ali Krieger's last game. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
got to be crazy. And at halftime, this game was like nearly statistically even. It was like 50% down the line. Ridiculous first half. Ruby, your thoughts?
And so much to say, but let me just summarize it. Just as fast as Gotham scored 2 goals, KC was able to equalize, and that was like a downer for me. It was kind of painful, and it was chaos. Definitely chaos just watching this game because I know like everything had passed, but for me, like it felt like real time when I was watching it like 4 hours later. And I was like at the edge of my seat waiting for my plane watching this game. And Krieger kept Gotham in the game. She's just amazing. She was like, not today, not in my house,
Yeah.
not here. She really wanted to keep going. She didn't want this to be her last game. It was a little disappointed that Gotham was not able to keep the lead before going into the locker room. And but I knew I knew it was going to be a hard game because KC has great players like Davinia, Cooper, Hamilton, Labonta, but Gotham had the lead and they just needed to keep that lead. It didn't happen, but hey, they I believe Gotham really gave their all.
Yeah, I never wanted the halftime whistle to come any quicker. I just wanted them just to get to
Right.
halftime, reset, and man, this team they just can't make it easy on us, can they? Sometimes I just can't with this team. I just can't.
Heart attack.
Yeah. This young midfield is the thing that's going to make or break this team down the stretch. They were tremendous early on, and they did get a bit stretched and overrun in the second half of the first half. They cleaned it up in the second half. We'll get to that, but you know this midfield is going to carry us to the championship, or they're going to break our spirits.
Yeah. And at some point of the game, I felt like this is where you need Zerboni because of that
hmm
experience.
hmm
But yeah, you just have to work with what you have.
Yeah. Now the second half has been a running theme for this team all season, and it was great adjustments from the coaching staff. And Gotham gets back on the front foot, but it's just like 45 minutes of Sheehan hitting the crossbar, William hitting the post, and it's just like, frankly, if Franch doesn't make three Franch like saves, like this one is over, and they just can't make it easy on us. Ruby, your thoughts on this team just getting across the finish line?
They really tried, and it feels like this has been something like the theme for Gotham where they hit the post, they hit a defender, the goalie saves it, like so close yet so far. It's kind of frustrating, and it's not because Gotham is not trying. They're really trying. Even in this game, they tried from up close, they tried from far away, and it was just not happening. Yeah, Gotham really tried to get that win, but nothing was going in the net, and it was just really frustrating to watch.
Yeah, very frustrating. I told myself that I was only going to scoreboard watch if the game was tied or, heaven forbid, Gotham was losing. Like halftime, like things aren't great, but they aren't really like worrying either. And then it just starts. Like I think at halftime, like North Carolina jumped over Gotham, but I think everything else was okay. And
Mhm.
then it just started like 5 minutes into the half, and then Angel City's over the line.
Ugh.
Washington's below the line, and then OL's creeping up, and then they scored like 3 goals in like 5 minutes, and then everybody else starts scoring and climbing and climbing, and I'm like, and then Gotham's in sixth and like holding on for dear
Ah.
life. Like I'm watching Orlando's game like a hawk. And I remember last episode remarking on like Gotham's position and being like, you know what? Like we're in that little groove there. We're the only team with like a positive goal differential. It was like +1, but I mean, I was like, that might come in handy later.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it certainly did. And I don't recommend Gotham fans watching the extended highlights from the Orlando game because Orlando had plenty of chances to get those goals and get that goal differential. However, however, we did it. We're heading for the playoffs.
For real. It doesn't matter how it happened at this time because because all the games were going at the same time, and there were so many possibilities of like who was going to make it and who was not. The important part is that doesn't matter how it happened, Gotham is in.
Yeah, agree. Any player notes, Ruby?
And like I mentioned earlier, right now, I said I loved how Gotham was like trying from far, from near, and I really liked that Lynn Williams was actually shooting from far, which is something that Gotham doesn't do often, and it was nice to see. Even though she was not able to score, I really appreciate the effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, shout out to New Jersey soccer legend Kristen Edmonds, who was absolutely superb on the night. I mean, we're talking about defending Dabinia and Cooper all night. And if you look at like the pass map of the positioning, they were both rolled to Kristen's side the entire time. And she had 92 touches, which is the only player that was close to her was 70, was Jenna Neiswanger. She had 15 recoveries against Dabinia and Cooper. She also created 2 chances. She got the assist as well. Just well done, Kristen.
Yeah, she was phenomenal. At some point, I really thought she was going to fight a player. But that's
Yeah.
just a jersey in her.
Yes. Kristen would fight a player.
We know.
But big shout out also to the entire midfield. They really pulled it together for that second half, and they all showed why they earned the spot on this roster. Sheehan has, when she first started with this team, she was a very like kind of slow and methodical player, but her hustle has picked up, and I think she's become a
Mhm.
better athlete this year. And she's been all over the place and hustling, and one of our best pressers on the pitch. And I think Ryan was absolutely special as well on the night. And I think she has an extensive like trophy case already, and I think that was the thing that jumped out at me when we interviewed her doing the research. I'm like, how much she's already won, and she's so young. But you see why, because she just comes up big in big moments, and yeah, obviously Martin was solid as always. Now at the end of the day, We are in. Gotham now just has to win 3 games in a row, which is, this team is definitely more than capable of doing. The slate is clean right now. Nothing that happened before this moment matters. All eyes are on that final prize, and let's just go get it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go get that. Like we have a really good chance to make it to the final and even winning the championship. And it's so good to see Gotham going into the playoffs. Now we have to put that foot like in, and just win. Like we have to get in that race. We have to win. We have to win this because I just feel like Gotham deserves it for how hard they have played this season. Like I didn't really think they were gonna get this far this season, but I'm so happy they really did. They really did that. I would like some chaos. Why not? Why not? We love a little bit of chaos out there, and I would like to see a Gotham against Angel City in the final game. Just imagine that. That would be total chaos. Gotham and Angel City.
Yeah, we're gonna. I don't care what happens. Like I'm finding, we're gonna go. We're gonna both go to a watch party if they go to the finals.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have some fun. And let's get to some post game quotes. Krieger says that having an NWSL decision day was exciting and motivating. When she's and the team learned that they had secured the playoff spot, they were relieved, and she said she could finally turn her attention to enjoying her retirement ceremony. Your thoughts, Ruby?
I mean, what a relief after like being so stressed of not knowing if you're gonna make it or not. And this decision day was really stressful for a lot of teams, especially because this season has been so close where like the table has been so tight where any team except Chicago and KC could have made it into the playoffs. So, like, I understand how she felt, and then I'm so glad she was able to enjoy her retirement ceremony. I wasn't able to be there, but tell us, Gary, how was that?
It was crazy. It was like just, I mean, even then when the game was over, there was like 2 games that were like right on the wire, and like you just had to wait like 10 minutes because the games like
Oh,
they had like 20 minutes of stoppage time, of course,
yeah.
especially like the Orlando game, and then I think we were also waiting on the Washington game, I think something like that.
Mhm.
But man, that was ridiculous. But you could just hear like as soon as they knew, the entire team was celebrating Allie's celebration, and then the whole crowd just got, it was this roar, and it was awesome just to be able to make it over that line. So I do think Decision Day was a super success, and chaos is the NWSL, and it is what it does. Let's talk about Amoros. And Amoros said the growth of this team from the last season to this year is a credit to everyone, a lot of work. And now they are in the playoffs. It was a life or death game. And now they go on to North Carolina and they look to win.
Yeah, I think it has been a very long season, and Gotham has given their all, and I think a spot in the playoffs is well deserved.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait till we do, our season reflection show. Hopefully, we
Yeah.
have a lot to talk about, especially maybe a championship reflection show.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. And it's going to be just an interesting conversation. But any stats of the game, Ruby?
So Gotham has not been able to win against KC. So with this game, it is 3 draws and 3 losses. Hopefully that changes next season because I think Gotham is a superior team.
Yeah, yeah. I think we officially won the off season. It is what it is. My stat of the week or stat of the game is that we scored 2 goals, and both of them came off of big chances, which we've been struggling to create all season. Again, good sign to come. Let's keep it going into the playoffs. Over on Twitter at Over Gotham Pod, fans chose Krieger as their player of the match. I agree. Do you agree, Ruby?
Yeah, Krieger's the right answer, especially because this was her retirement game. She made that incredible save when everyone thought that ball was going in. She stepped up. She was there for the team. So yeah, she deserves it.
Yeah, we're here talking about the playoffs because Krieger willed it to be so. Didn't put a single foot wrong in that game. Again, it's just an honor to watch her play.
Yeah, game in and game out, Krieger has been key for Gotham making to the playoffs. It will be really hard. It's going to be really hard for Gotham to fill her shoes slash her position.
Yeah, but besides that, I want to double down on Kristen Edmonds' big night out, and
Hmm.
obviously, I want to tell you that Rhea Ryan was again fantastic, awesome on the night. All right, let's talk about the standings. We are in at the 6th seed in the playoffs. Big relief that is. What a season. Honestly, congrats to the Wave on the Shield in their second season.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And shout out to hashtag Once Gotham Becky Tweed. I mean, what an absolute run. It's just a remarkable turnaround.
And I just have to say that I called it. I called it Angel City was going to make it to the playoffs. And not because I like Angel City, but because of Becky Tweed. I know they were going to make it. Becky has been incredible. She brought Angel City back to life. And if Angel City doesn't give her the job, I don't know. There's something wrong with them.
Yeah, I've been right about a lot of things this season, and I was very, very, very happy to be wrong about Orlando and not making the playoffs. So, yeah,
Right? Yes.
yeah, I was like, I better not be right. But speaking of the playoffs, we are in. We are as the 6th seed, which means we travel on this Sunday at 7 p.m. to North Carolina to take on familiar foe, the Courage. Then on the other side of that, they have Angel City playing the OL Reign, the 5th and 4th seed. And our road to the championship goes through North Carolina. Then it goes through Portland on the road. Then whoever the heck makes it to the finals, we're going to beat them too. All right. So starting, again, this is the league's second best road team. And I can't wait to get to this game. Ruby, your thoughts on this matchup?
This year, Gotham and North Carolina have played 4 times. This is if we include the Challenge Cup game. So it has been 2 wins and 2 draws. So that's a very, very good chance for Gotham to win. This is a game that they need to win. They have to win in order for them to keep going. But if they draw, we will definitely get chaos. We don't want penalties, but you know, it could always happen.
Yeah, of all the matchups, I think this one would probably be the most exciting out of all the matchups that we would have in this tournament because this,
Mhm.
as you said, we've got 2 draws, 2 wins, and every one of these games have been just interesting. Like one game, Gotham is just dominating, and then the next one, the Courage are dominant, and then we draw, and then that one game was Gotham scored 3 goals after the 64th minute,
Yep.
and anything can happen, and this is going to come down to which team imposes their game plan better, and both teams like to press and possess.
Yep.
I like our chances, but wow, this is going to be an interesting matchup, and yeah, let's go. What are we manifesting this week?
So I'm going to start early and I'm just going to manifest to make it to the final game.
Yeah, let's get healthy. Let's go. No drama. Let's just dominate and move on. Any random thoughts before we go?
No random thoughts for me today.
Just real quickly, sometimes you get reminded of things. And on Twitter, I think Opta posted a stat of the top, I would say, pass percentages for the season over the past couple seasons. And just to see Ali Long's 2021 season, she had
Yeah.
91% passing accuracy, and she played nearly every minute of that
Yeah.
season. How incredible. I remember covering that every week was like the Ali Long stat of the week, how incredible she was.
Yeah. 2021 was definitely Ali Long's year.
Yeah. And then one more before we go. This is also the time where they start announcing the Iron Woman awards, and in a way, I'm glad that none of our players have that award. I've been saying this since the beginning. We've been covering this team that I don't like when a player plays the entire season. I don't think it's good for them as far as physically to do
Mhm.
that. And I think it says a lot about your roster that you can't take one player out of your roster for an entire season. And also, it also says that you're not developing players. And obviously, I'm huge on developing players and giving players chances for minutes and stuff like that. So there wasn't a single player on this team that was not like expendable for a
Yeah.
couple minutes here or there. And I think the coaching staff has done just an amazing job of not only balancing this veteran heavy roster,
Yeah.
but again, look at the midfield. We have Ryan, Sheehan, and Martin who've just grown immensely over the season. And Jenna Neiswanger and Bernina has been a tremendous growth this
Mhm.
season. So they've been able to balance all that. And I just want to say thank you to the coaching staff and all the coaches behind the scenes, the physical staff, all that. Thank you for doing that. And I'm really, really happy that we are where we are.
Yeah, and, I just wanna add to that these players had been able to grow and develop throughout the season because of that same reason, because they were given minutes, they were given that chance to play, and I believe every player in that roster should have a chance to play, and I mean, I'm not trashing the players that played, like, every single minute into the season, that's just incredible, but I also think they deserve some rest.
Yeah, agree. We'll get into that in our season reflection show about the growth of some players and
Yeah,
even the veterans. But I am ready for the fans to hear our season-ending award show. It is so much fun.
yeah.
Obviously, we love having Jenna on the show. She's our best friend of the show. We've been doing this for a long time together. We've grown together, and honestly, that again, we're just having fun. We're blowing off steam. It's been a long season, and we love reflecting on the
Yeah.
fans' voices and what they have to say. So I'm sure we amplify the fans' voice a lot in that. All right, so I'm ready to get to the award show. You ready, Ruby?
Let's go.